Today, I want to talk to you about the top 4 pros, in my opinion, of working in utilization review. In case you don't know who I am, my name's Philip McGee. I'm a physical therapist who works full-time in utilization review. And in my Facebook group, Nonclinical Career Guide, I polled the group about what topics they wanted to learn about, and the overwhelming choice was to know what the pros and cons are of working in utilization review. Now, as a caveat, these are based on the experiences that I've had working in utilization review. There is a lot of variability between different companies and what role you're working in utilization review, but based on the experiences that I've had and the experiences of most that I know, these are what I consider the top 4 pros. So let's get started. The first pro is that you have a better work-life balance compared to being a clinician. And this was actually what drove me into becoming a person working in utilization review, that I was working in home health prior to this. And prior to that, I worked in acute care. And I found that, especially in home health, there was not a very good work-life balance. There was oftentimes that I had to document outside of the time that I was treating individuals. And I spent a lot of time at home documenting, especially when it comes to start of cares or evaluations. And I wanted to be able to be present with my wife and kids when I was home, and also on the weekends, not having to think about what I'm going to have to do job-wise. And fortunately for my job, I have absolutely no regrets when it comes to this, that I have, I believe, an excellent work-life balance. I have a start time and a stop time, and before and after those, I have really nothing to do with my utilization review job unless I'm doing something like this and creating a YouTube video about utilization review, or I'm choosing on my own to create a course that I've just launched about utilization review, or I do practice interviews or resume reviews. Those are all things that I choose on my own time. It's not related exactly to my job. And so I believe utilization review provides a great work-life balance. The second pro I want to talk about is that there's more career mobility. In the jobs that I've worked in as a clinician, you can either be a clinician or you can be someone who works in management, and that's pretty much your options. And in utilization review, a lot of the companies are larger companies, and so there's a lot more opportunity. Currently, I'm a pre-service coordinator who works the cases that are requesting pre-authorization for inpatient rehab. And in that role, I'm reviewing charts and I'm synthesizing the information, sending it to the medical director, and doing a lot of other tasks beyond that, but that kind of summarizes my role. And though I enjoy the job that I have right now, it's nice to know that I do have other options inside the company that I work for. I'm someone who likes to educate, and so there's opportunities to work in more education related jobs that are within the company. There's also opportunities for management, and because it's a larger company, there's more opportunities to become a manager, as opposed to the companies that I've worked for. It's pretty much 1 or 2 management positions if you're a therapist. And I really like the opportunities that are available with utilization review. The third pro is that there are a lot of interesting cases. I think that being able to review charts from all over the United States, getting to see all sorts of different diagnoses, see what has happened in the plans of care, I find it very interesting. I enjoy being able to see what is kind of like a real life, and I should say real to life, television series that most medical dramas on TV, most of us know that they don't look anything like what it's like working in a hospital setting or working in any other setting medically. and it's nice to be able to see what the different thought processes were of the clinicians that were working with the member, and just being able to see what has happened with these different members that I'm reviewing their charts. So I find it very interesting, and I think most people who work in utilization review that do this job find enjoyment in reviewing the charts. And the final one that I'll talk about, there's other pros, but I think this is the biggest pro in my opinion, is that I work a job that's 100% remote. And because of that, now I can't speak for all companies and all roles, but because my job doesn't require me to stay in one specific state, that I'm able to, as long as I can keep HIPAA compliance, I can work outside of where I live, that I don't have to always work at my home that I live in. I can work in my in-laws' house, say for instance, and that's actually what I was able to do during the holidays. I was able to go out of state. I currently live in Texas. They live in Washington state, and my wife and kids were able to spend a lot more time in Washington state with my in-laws that I otherwise wouldn't have been able to spend, or I would have spent a much shorter period of time, because otherwise, as a clinician, I had to see patients. So my options were to either burn all my PTO on vacation during the holidays, or I could just not get paid. But in this case, because I work a 100% remote job, I was able to spend more time at my in-laws' house, and I was able to work and not have to use any of the PTO. So that is probably the biggest benefit that I think there is when it comes to utilization review, and it's actually not one that was really promoted much. So again, it's not something that is necessarily in all utilization review jobs, but in my role, I am 100% remote, and I do have the approval to work outside of the house as long as I can maintain HIPAA compliance. So I'm not going to Starbucks and doing my job. I'm not going to a public beach and doing my job. That would be incredibly difficult. But I would say that just being able to travel and do my job and let my family enjoy time with other people, that's an incredible benefit that I've never had as a clinician. So hopefully you found these 4 pros insightful. And if you do find this intriguing, I do have some free and paid options to learn more about utilization review. As far as the free options, you have this YouTube channel, I do have a blog, and I do have a free ebook on how to write non-clinical resumes. And if you are interested in having a resume review or a practice interview, I do provide those, and those links will be in the description. Also, I just recently launched a utilization review course that is meant to be a step-by-step guide into how to know some of the different roles in utilization review, how to apply for those jobs, interview for those jobs, and to hopefully be able to get a job offer, and how to eventually accept the job offer and thrive in those roles. So if that sounds interesting to you, that will also be in the description. So thank you so much for watching this video. Again, I hope that you've enjoyed it, found it insightful. If you've made it this far, please like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video.